All right. Well, you guys, welcome back. If you are new here, we are the Habit team. The Habit is a nutrition coaching company made for women by women. Our program is built for you with coaches who put your goals, lifestyle, and personality first. If you want to learn more about us, head to the episode notes or go to thehabit.com. That's habit with a Y to either request more information or book your free discovery call.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Habit Pod. Today you've got me, Coach Morgan, and then also Coach Champagne on the mic. As we're recording, we are halfway through January, so we thought it would be a great time to talk about how to keep momentum with your New Year's goals you set. Now, if you've listened to the previous episode, Coach Fairlane talked about how to set goals that you'll actually stick to. If you haven't listened, pause this and go back and listen. So let's go back 3 weeks ago. You set your New Year's goals, you're all ready to go, and you're excited about them. You're probably pretty motivated, which is great to get started, but unfortunately, we all know how motivation goes. Now we're back to present time, and your motivation is fizzling out super fast. So I kind of wanted to start off with just talking about how normal it is for motivation to drop. It's super common, and it's probably why if you do have a coach or if you're, in the health and fitness space on Instagram or wherever, you probably hear a lot of the time that, don't rely on motivation. Motivation does not get you to your goals. It won't get you to a healthier place. And that is very, very true. So I think part of it is kind of just normalizing that motivation is going to drop. Like, it's very common, especially in the new year. It's probably like 2 to 6 weeks in. I feel like most people are starting to be like, this is getting rough. Can't hit my goals. I'm tired of it. Don't want to do this anymore. And so I think kind of expecting that to happen is super normal and can help to realize like it's okay if my motivation drops. And sometimes just doing, the basics, doing the, I don't want to say bare minimum, but it kind of is doing the bare minimum to keep up with the stuff that you want to accomplish. And so I think another part too is just trying to get away from like the all or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
It's definitely a momentum killer. And also knowing, if one thing doesn't go right, if you miss a day, whatever it is, that cannot kill your goals right then and there. It's a very
can't
common.
derail you.
No, not at all. And it's what you do consistently that matters the most. And so if you are consistently hitting most of these things, you have a weekend off or a day off or whatever, truly, it will not make a dent in your progress. And I say this from a coaching standpoint, and Kristen, you probably agree. Whenever we see like a client's, weekly data with macros and all the things, and they have one day where it was just off, and then we see like it literally didn't make a dent in anything. Their averages are still solid, and so that's also just more proof like one day truly cannot, knock you out from progress.
Yep. It's like, one bad day of eating didn't get you where you are. One good day of eating doesn't get you where you are.
Yep.
And it's hard to it's hard to process. It's easier said than done.
For sure.
But it's really, really trying to avoid a slip turning into a slide.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I always like that saying.
Yeah, that's a good saying.
But it's so true. It's I think one of the ways to keep something in mind and frame it in a different time is it's almost like every time you eat, you're starting over. Every time you sleep, you're starting over. It doesn't have to start on a Monday. The next day is a whole new day. And that's, it's really important, exactly like what you said, Morgan, about one day doesn't kill your goals, and it shouldn't, if you don't hit your whatever goal you set for yourself one day, it doesn't have to be the end of it. You don't have to fail there.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why this analogy just popped in my head, but at least where I grew up, like grade school grades, anything below a 70 is, failing. We're going to use that strong word.
Yeah.
But that's a 70. You're not asked to get 100.
Right.
And so you have that little bit of runway to be like, oops, that one didn't go as planned, but let me get right back to it.
Right.
And I'm sure you have also talk to so many women who have really a hard time getting out of the all or nothing mindset. And I think those people are right now, this January, now's their time.
Mhm.
They're really excited, they're motivated, they're doing everything. But maybe when this podcast comes out at the end of January, that slip is turning into a slide.
Yep. Yep.
And so Morgan and I just wanted to talk about, because I think it's great. I think it's like some stat crazy, like 75%
Yeah.
of people already give up on their New Year's goals by January or by
Yep.
February.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild. It goes fast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why we wanted to get this podcast episode out quickly in January, because we know
Yeah.
like this is a quick turnaround, unfortunately. But it doesn't have to be that way. And I think really like deep diving into like what your mentality is around your goals. Like, are you all or
Mm-hmm.
nothing? Do you try to be perfect when you're hitting these goals? Is that your goal, is to be perfect in hitting your goals whenever you're setting
Yeah.
them? And if that is
Yeah.
the case, and that's something where you maybe need to spend a little bit more time and think about, okay, let's be completely honest. No one is perfect. This is something I talk about all the time with my clients, is the perfectionism, all or nothing type of thinking. And it's so,
Mm-hmm.
it, I don't know, I don't want to say misunderstood, but it looks so much prettier than it really is. Like perfectionist, we think
Yeah.
about, oh, that's someone who is like probably type A, does things really well, never fails technically. And
Yeah.
all or nothing is kind of the same thing. And it's actually the
Mm-hmm.
complete opposite, because if we think about people in general, literally no one is perfect. So I don't know why
Mm-mm.
we keep striving for, that goal of perfectionism or all or nothing. And all or nothing usually is just nothing when it's all said and done. It's never
It's just,
all.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. And I did set some goals for New Year's, and I did it a little bit differently this year. And I've also, struggled with perfectionism, all or nothing thinking. And I think at this point in my life, I'm not really struggling with those things very much at all. Maybe a little bit here and there, but most of the time I'm not. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
even keeled, pretty like in the middle, living life and, enjoying it, balanced, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I did set some goals, and I kind of wanted to go over just not like all of them because I set a bunch, but kind of my way
Yeah. I
of
want to
doing
hear.
it. And so it was a little bit different this year. So my brother-in-law, he came over to our house, and we were talking about goals. He just randomly brought it up. He was like, I want to set some New Year's goals. And he kind of wanted us to do it with him, my husband and me, and then also his wife too, but she wasn't there. But we were talking and everything, and he was like, this podcast I listen to, it's a golf podcast, and they set goals like every single year, and they set like a bunch of goals, like probably like 30 different goals for the year.
Yeah.
And they categorize them into like personal, career, and I think like, I can't remember the last one. It's like fun goals or something like that. No, it's fitness. Or maybe that was just me. I don't even know. Golf, probably. That's probably what it was. But that's what mine are: personal, fitness, career. And so I have like 25 goals set, and which sounds insane. But the cool
Yeah, I
thing
was like,
about it,
whoa.
yeah, it's crazy. But the whole idea behind it, what they did is they set all these goals knowing that they're not going to hit some of them, like probably not going to hit like 10 of them or something. And they throw in the fun ones because those are kind of the ones that like you just throw in there just to keep it fun and exciting, but also knowing like if I don't hit that, like not the end of the world. Like I'm not sad about it, I'm not worried about it. So that's kind of what I did with mine. I did several personal ones, career ones, and fitness ones, and threw some in there that I just know I'm not going to hit. And I think that helps get over that perfectionist, all or nothing kind of thinking where you
Mm,
basically prepare yourself to not hit some of them. And I think that's good
interesting.
because then you
Yeah.
still have, the goals that you're really like wanting to hit, those really important ones to you. But then the other ones, it's like, okay, if I hit it, awesome. If I don't, like not
Great.
end of the world, I'm still hitting
Yeah.
these other ones that are actually
Yeah.
maybe a little more important. So I have some
Mm.
silly ones on there, like since it was a golf podcast, my husband golfs and my brother-in-law does too. And so I was like, well, I'll go play 9 holes of golf 10 times this year. And I'm almost positive I won't hit that. But that's one of my
You're
just
like,
fun ones.
that's one I
Yeah.
don't plan on
Yeah.
hitting.
Probably won't happen, but it's fine. So yeah, I
Oh,
thought
I
it was a
love that.
cool way
I
to
love
do
how
it.
you also said 9 holes and not 18.
Yeah, no. No, I don't think I've ever even gotten close to playing a full 18. I think I've played like 6 consecutively before, so 9 is
Okay.
still a stretch. Like, I don't
No,
know
I
if I can.
love that. That
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah, so just we put some fun ones on there, and it was kinda cool. We also got, like, our whole family together, so after my in-law got in on it, my, father-in-law, mother-in-law also did, and we just, like, went around the room and, like, talked about them and stuff, and it was
That's
really
so
fun.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
That is fun.
So we'll see how it works. I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it, but that's kind of our thinking behind it, and it's nice to kinda have almost like a safety net a little bit where you're not just worried
Yeah.
about, like, hitting, like, every single one of them. It's like, if that doesn't happen, that's okay, or if I need to, like, tweak it a
Yeah.
little bit, that's okay too, and really kinda
Mhm.
gets over that all or nothing or perfectionist stuff. So,
I love that.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I set some fitness goals this year, and
Love it.
mine are I actually really like your, like, stretch goals that you're like, "All
Mhm.
right, might or might not hit that."
Right.
I'm gonna maybe
Maybe
think about
add some of those.
implementing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but mine are so one thing that I don't like to I don't know, I'm not the person because I know myself to do super specific, like, um well, I guess they're specific, but I like to give myself a little bit of framework. So one of
Mhm.
my goals this year in fitness is because honestly, this last year I started a new job. It was just a blur. My schedule was not really my own. I never really knew what my day was going to look like, which caused my workouts to be
Mhm.
very random and sporadic. And
Mhm.
I just like this last year was probably the least I've worked out in my whole life.
Yeah.
And so this year I want to work out X amount of times per month. And that way, I can kind of dictate when those times come. But it also, and if you're my client, I talk to you about this. I try to identify those days in advance because if I don't, then all of a sudden I'm going to get to the last,
Yep.
X amount of days in the month.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, I have to work out every single day for the next, that's not realistic.
Right.
And so I kind of found my sweet spot. I didn't go, insane since last year was hard and I'm still in the
Mhm.
same job.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm going to get to the gym 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Would I love that? Yeah. Is that realistic?
No. For
No.
most people, no, not at all.
Um, yeah, and not necessary.
Yeah.
But and I tell this with my clients, specifically ones who are very ambitious, is your goal should be a stretch from where you are currently.
Mhm.
It should not be taking and doing a 180 on your
Right.
whole routine.
Yep.
That is just asking for burnout
Yep.
because it's not sustainable. So wherever you are in your life right now, try to stretch yourself and make that your goal. So I kind of like giving mine a little bit of like wiggle room
Same.
of let's
Mhm.
try to get to the gym X amount of times a month. I've always had like a step goal that I try to
Yeah,
hit.
me too.
And the dog helps too.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
definitely.
like, I
Having to
gotta
walk
get her
the
out.
dog. Yep.
Yeah. Um, but another thing that I really talk about with my clients around this time is instead of maybe setting a goal for the whole year, and you can change this at any point,
Mhm.
you can implement this at any point, especially
Mhm.
we're still in January.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Um, Instead of setting, a specific goal of the whole year, set a theme of the year.
Mm.
And then most of the time, our clients, their goal is health. They're
Mhm.
working with us, so that's not, super surprising. And so
Right.
they say, okay, your overall theme is
See.
health for 2026. Then you set a monthly goal. So your goal, you're only focused on that goal that month. So you see the finish line. It keeps you interested because each month you're setting, a new goal in order to help you get to where it is. So maybe January, you're feeling like, okay, I'm going to get into the gym. So I want to work out X times a week. And then you get to February and you say, okay, February, my goal is to hit my macros. I want to do it. I want to be, I really want to focus this month. So I'm going to hit my macros every day within plus or minus 5 grams.
Mhm.
And then, that one might not be sustainable all year. You
Right.
have vacation, you have holidays, you have whatever. And then March, it's okay, I want to fill in the blank. And
Right.
so these goals, since they're short term, they keep you more accountable because you can see that finish line,
Mm,
and they're mostly new. And so
yeah.
they're a little bit bright and shiny each
Mhm,
month.
mhm.
Instead of setting a goal January 1st and you see December 31st as
You're
being
like, "Oh, Lord."
a marathon
Yeah.
away. And so that's one thing that I like. It just
Yeah,
kind of
that's a good
keeps
idea.
things fun, it keeps things interested, and it keeps your attention.
Mhm,
So that's what I like to kind of offer and suggest to my clients.
mhm.
And it seems to be pretty well received, and it
Yeah, I
can
like
it
that.
can also, the fun thing about it is it's flexible. It can be dependent on what you have going on that month.
Right.
In March, if it's spring break and you're traveling for spring break, then figure out a goal that you can achieve while you're
Right.
on vacation.
Right.
But that kind of sometimes helps keep the momentum alive,
Mhm.
because you just got to make it to February 1st, and then
Right.
you can think of a new goal that aligns with what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and that makes so much sense to make sure that, you don't just completely burn out with, like, one goal. Like, if
Yeah.
your step goals, let's say it's 10,000 for every day in January or something, or most days, whatever, and then
Yeah.
you get to, or let's just say that that's the whole goal. 10,000 steps in the year of 2026, like, each day. That sounds
Yeah.
insane, like, that's a lot,
That's a lot.
and so breaking it up like that, I really like that. I think that's a good idea because then you can say, "Okay, for January, 10,000 steps, awesome, let's do it." And then February, the goal changes a little bit, but it's still health focused. I think that's
Mhm.
fantastic because likelihood you'll probably keep up with steps pretty decently, maybe not hit that 10,000 every day, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's not a requirement either. Um, and still really get to, move the needle on your health and maybe fat loss goals if you have that, and focus on something a little different. So I do like that. That's a good idea. I may have to look at my fitness section of my goals and be like, all right, how can I
Yeah.
break this up a little bit? Because I did start to notice some of mine, um, they were like, just hit. I think I did like curl 25-pound dumbbells. I can do 20s. And so I was like, okay, next level
Yeah,
up or
next step
whatever,
up.
is 25-pound dumbbells, and then I did, like, a couple of different ones for different exercises, and I'm like, "I might switch that up and maybe, like, really think about, like, for February, focus on the curls, and then, like, March, focus on my deadlifts or whatever and kinda break it up that way
Yeah.
instead of just constantly thinking every time I do curls or a deadlift, I'm like, "Okay, let's see if I can do, the next
Yeah.
step up." So that's a good idea to break it up like that.
Yeah, and I like how I think that's great because it can be specific,
Mhm.
exercises and strength. Okay,
Yes.
I really want to push my strength on this
Yeah.
one, because some days you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to
Oh,
push
yeah.
my strength." But
Yeah.
if like, all right, February, I'm getting I'm lifting it all.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. Yeah, and the focus
Um
is just curls, not that everything
exactly.
else falls off completely, no, we're not saying that, but, like,
No.
we still do that, but not
Mhm.
trying to, like, PR every time, it's, like, just the curls, that's what we're focused on, so I think I'll do
Yeah.
that, I like that.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And some the cool thing is some months you're going to it's gonna cement as a habit, and it's
Mhm.
gonna carry on into the next month,
Right.
and so that's the cool thing. It's kind of compounding, and
Mhm.
some things will just become a little bit more second nature because you really enjoyed adding it to your routine. Your body really enjoyed adding it to your routine. And now that doesn't really become a focus anymore because
Right.
you're naturally doing it.
Yeah.
And so let's add in something else. Let's push ourselves in a different area.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and that's kind of how we also at least I do for a coach. If I have someone coming in brand new to tracking macros, it's like, okay, let's start with this one thing. Let's focus on that. And
Yes.
they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and they're like, but I want to focus on everything.
Right.
And I'm like, nope, we're gonna focus on this
Yep.
one thing.
Yep.
And then that eventually becomes just so easy to them that
Then
we
we
can
add
add
on.
on from
Yes.
there.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
I think that is truly the best way to do any kind of goal is to, 1, not overwhelm yourself and bite off more than you can chew, But
Yeah.
to really think about, okay, like the non-negotiables or the big rocks, my clients are like, I've heard you say that 1,000 times, but really it is the best way to do it, truly, that I've found is, focus on a couple of like 2 or 3 big ones that really, kind of ground you, like move the needle,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I do like that. Um, what else? I think another big part of it is consistency, which I kind of, talked about a little bit, but really, momentum comes from doing the unsexy basics repeatedly. And I know everyone
Yup.
has heard this thousands of times, but that's because it literally is the key. It really, really is that
Uh-huh.
consistency piece. And again, it doesn't matter what you do 1 day out of the week, 2 days out of the week, it's what you're doing most of the time. But the consistency with the boring stuff is what works. It really is. And it's kind of funny because, you get clients or just people in your life that ask you like, what do you do? Like, how do you stay fit or whatever? And it's just like, I just do really boring things all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
lift and I walk and I eat balanced. That's literally the secret.
Yeah.
So consistency is a big
Yeah.
one.
It's really nothing like it's not bright and shiny.
Nope,
If something is bright and shiny,
it's not gonna work.
like it's not gonna be there. It really is just a
Yes.
basics. It's exactly what you said. It's not sexy, but it is what it gets. It is what it is.
Yep, it works.
Yeah. There's enough excitement in life elsewhere. We can keep
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
we can keep this one
this
boring.
can be the one that's steady. It's like there's too much going on in life anyways. Like I need this. I need this to be boring.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, literally. But I don't know. I like the boring part of it.
Me too. Honestly. I do too.
I'll take it. I'll
Yep.
take it.
Yep. Because I think the reason we probably like it is because we know it's worked and it's worked for us. And
Yeah.
those boring basics really become just like your lifestyle. And so
Mhm.
they're not so boring when it's just a part of everyday life. You do enjoy it to a certain degree. I think that's an important part to mention too is, having a
100%.
routine that you actually enjoy, that you don't just absolutely hate. 'Cause if you hate it,
Yeah.
not going to keep doing it. But
No.
a routine that you actually enjoy, and that's what really keeps you consistent. And I think knowing too, just, you know, thinking about what true consistency looks like. Again, consistency isn't perfect all the time, every single day. It's
Mhm.
what you're doing most of the time. You're 80%
Mhm.
there, not 100, because that's not, no one's doing that. So,
Think about how, there's so many different resources out there right now and things that we can do to help with our goals. Like, think about what will make your life easier hitting your goals. If you have a step goal and you don't have a walking pad,
yep.
a walking pad is like a
Get
hundred
one.
dollars.
Yes, get one.
Get one because it's, one day it's gonna rain, it's going
Mhm.
to snow, it's gonna fill in the blank here,
Right.
and then you can't get outside, and then that's an excuse for you not to hit your goals. Get
Mhm.
a walking pad, make your life easier.
Yep.
If your goal is to drink more water, get a nice water bottle that you feel excited
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And one of the things that I tell my clients with water, if you have an Apple Watch, you can do this on your phone too, but if you have an Apple Watch, you can set a silent timer. It'll just
Ooh.
vibrate your wrist so it doesn't disturb anyone else, but set the timer for 30 minutes, and every 30 minutes it'll go off on your watch, and whenever that goes off, to drink water.
Okay, love that. I'm
Um
gonna steal that.
yeah, and you can do it on your phone too. Like, it can be silent where it doesn't, annoy you. And then that honestly, if you do it every 30 minutes to an hour and every time that goes off, then you take like a good amount of water,
Mhm.
your body's going to eventually start craving
Yep.
water every 30 minutes or
Yep.
every hour because we have to remember at the end of the day, like, we are animals, we're very trainable.
Yeah, we're
Like,
adaptable. We adapt to literally everything.
yeah.
Yep.
Um and so, like, invest in that.
Mhm.
If you want to have, specific workout goals, or you want to
Yes.
start moving more, invest in, maybe some dumbbells at home. So if you can't get to the gym, you can at least do
Mhm.
some, body weight stuff
Right.
at home. So think of ways that what is going to help you,
Mhm.
and it doesn't all cost money. A lot of these like are really
Yeah.
cheap things that just make your life a lot easier. I'm trying to think, what are other like main goals? There's steps, there's water, there's working out.
I
There's a
mean,
lot of stuff.
a lot of people there's fat loss in the new year,
Yeah.
losing weight, and that's a fair
Yeah.
goal. I get that one a lot, and I used to have that goal too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that one you were gonna think of?
No, but that's a good one. I'm trying to think like investing in
A food
us,
scale. Yeah, that too.
you and I.
Yep. Yep.
No, yeah. A
Download
food scale,
macros
exactly.
first, and that's
Yes.
free. So,
The free.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's always little things, tools that you can add if you need some extra help with, hitting certain goals. And also another thing is, I don't know if people think this way, but if you're thinking about like a walking pad or investing in that, like it's just not worth it. You should be able to do it outside. Like that's almost like a easy way out or something. It's just one wild to think that way. Literally
Yeah.
I use my walking pad more than anything else, I think. Truly. More than my
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I use that thing all the time in the winter. It has saved me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
Yeah.
things that I'm like, you have to get one. You have to. I actually had a client
Mhm.
yesterday who she has a treadmill in her basement, but she was like, it's freezing down there. It's so cold. I'm like, girl,
Mm.
get a walking pad, put it upstairs.
Yeah.
You can move it around. It's like everybody should have one.
Yeah. No, 100%. Well, and like you can, how many of us sit on our couch and watch a
Yep.
show or
Yep.
scroll?
Yep.
Like, you get on your walking pad and watch a show for, it doesn't even have to be the whole show.
Yeah.
Like,
10
we're not,
minutes.
you don't have to set these crazy, but like, yeah, first 10 minutes.
Yep.
Get on your walking pad. They're so easy to store too. You can store it under your
Yes.
bed. You can store it under, like, it's just easy and simple.
Yep. Yep. It's one of those things that I've made it my life mission almost at this point to like convince everyone to get one. I'm like, please get one. It'll help so much.
You need an affiliate link.
I do. Gosh, I need to work on that instead. So then I can get a kickback here. But yeah, no kickbacks for me. I'm just trying to get everybody to walk more.
Bring a portfolio to a major walking pad.
Look at all these people that I have gotten to
Yes,
buy your
I want to show you
Yeah.
how many sales I brought you.
Yeah. Can I get a code?
And for the cheap $5 a sale,
Yeah.
I'll bring you more.
There you go. I'll really work on it. I think
Yeah.
another big part of, building that momentum with your goals and keeping it is support. That one is a huge one that I kind of think gets overlooked a lot because I don't know, I think maybe some people set their goals and maybe don't want to share because maybe there's a little bit of embarrassment on it, especially if it's related to like fat loss. I think some people are just like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to like share that with someone. But honestly, finding someone that you really trust and that, that you love, someone like a friend or a family member that's not going to like make fun of you for it or like judge you for it.
Yeah.
To have that extra accountability and support is so, so helpful. And I say that, as us coaches, of course we are here for that. But even just like your mom or your sister or your best friend, sharing your goals with them and really, talk about why you've set those. Kind of going back to Fairlane's episode is, really figuring out your why, like behind it. What's the reason you're doing this, and explain that to them. And I think to have that extra person just to kind of keep you accountable is a game changer for so many people.
100%. I love that. And, I think, you would be surprised. A lot more people have the same goals as you
Yes,
do
that.
than you would think. And so, be that vulnerable friend that's going to share it first because there's a chance that person also has a goal that
Yes.
aligns and is so happy that you said something because now y'all
Yep.
can both keep each other accountable.
Definitely.
I think that was really eye-opening for me in my journey when there was a couple people I opened up to, and I was so nervous and so embarrassed, and then having them be like, let's do it together. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot more people out there that are that are wanting to do the same. And so be that brave friend. I'd also say, if it's not a friend, I mean, even if you're in a relationship, you can still open up to a friend. But I would really challenge you. I think a lot of people, especially in newish relationships, um, because they're still trying to be that like perfect,
Yes.
whatever.
Right.
Open up to your significant other about it, because especially when dating, like so much of your stuff is revolved around food.
Right.
And so, have one, it's also a test,
Yeah.
because if they're not supportive,
Get out.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. And I did it. Like my husband and I were dating at the time when, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you have I've probably almost said it on every podcast I've been on, but I was a client of The Habit years ago. And I was dating my now husband at the time, and we were new to dating. And but I spent so much time with him cooking or going on date nights, and I just really wanted to do this. And so I opened up to him about it. And I mean, I'm married now, so you can probably infer that he was really supportive of it. But it was just so nice, and like it opens up also a realm of vulnerability with your spouse, and y'all can, or your whoever it is, spouse or partner or date, whatever, like it helps y'all become closer. But it also weeds them out, because like I said, if they're not supportive, they're not going to be supportive of you in the long run. Like
Exactly.
if you're not supportive in the dating phase, you're definitely not going to be supportive when you're 10 years down the road and you're comfortable with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's awkward and it's hard, but I would really empower you to allow that door to be opened with a friend, with a partner, with a family member. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I love that. That is a great point, especially for those new ones in relationships. But yeah, just finding someone that you trust. And that was kind of going back to how I set my goals this year. Sharing it in front of my in-laws, which I love them all. I'm very comfortable around all of them. There was a little bit of me though that, like, when it came to my turn to share, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna say this out loud in front of all of them. But I did it, and it was actually really nice because one, they're amazing and supportive, but they also were like, oh, I like that. Especially my mother-in-law. She was like, oh, I want to do that one, like wanted to kind of, do the same goal or really liked it or whatever. And so it's nice now that we're all working on this to kind of check in on each other too. That's that accountability is everything. It's so nice to have.
Yeah. And when someone else knows, you're more than likely to stick to it.
That too. That's a big one. Yeah. When someone's going to check on you. That's why our coaching works so well. It's like, these clients, they know that we're looking, that we're checking in. And so you don't want to, completely drop the ball, honestly. And that's a big part of being able to hit goals. It's kind of cool how it works. But did you have anything else you wanted to add before we close out?
That, I think, is it for me.
Yeah, me too. And I would definitely, if you haven't yet, go back and listen to Fairlane's podcast on how to, stick to the goals that you set, or set good goals that you can stick to, and then applying some of these things that we've mentioned. And I think all in all, just know that there's no perfect framework. There's no perfect way to set goals and to hit them. Like, there's no secret. It's truly just what works best for you. And I think some of these big things that we talked about, support, not trying to be perfect in all of this, knowing that motivation is fleeting. It's not going to last long, and to adjust when needed. If you do those things, you will be so solid and probably hit most of the goals that you set out to. So, and if you need extra support, we're always here.
We're here. Every day is a new day. You get to start over every day. So you can see, it doesn't have to be a Monday. It doesn't have to be January 1st.
Nope. Any day.
You can choose any and every day to start and to keep going.
Yes.
So, thanks for listening, guys.
Yes.
And we'll chat later.
Bye.
Bye.